Hello, my sweet friends. Thank you so much for joining me on my May 2019 plan with me. I'm going to be using this Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. It's in Nordic Blue and size A5 and also dotted. I'll have it linked in the description for you. This month's theme is going to be wisteria, which I just think are so beautiful and perfect for spring, so it went well with May, I thought. So the main supplies I'm going to be using are this Sharpie fine liner in size fine. It's my go-to pen. Love it. Can't recommend it enough if you're looking for a cheap bullet journal pen. I'm also going to be using these Tombow dual brush pens. I'll have all of the shades that I use linked in the description, but it's mostly going to be the purples and yellows. And then I'm also going to be using these watercolors. They're just a generic brand that I got from Walmart, but I like how they work, so I think I'm gonna stick with them. And with that, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is going in and outlining all of my wisteria. I guess they would be wisteria branches because I think it's considered a tree. So I'm just going through and I kind of winged it on what these look like. I mean, I looked at some pictures and I totally fell in love with them. And then when I tried to draw it, it just didn't quite go how I was looking for, and so then I just winged it, and I think it still looks like wisteria in the end. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. So I started with, they kind of just look like little fat teardrop shapes, and they have these little points coming off of them on the ends, and they're really beautiful, mostly purples and some deep yellow right in the middle of them. And so I'm just gonna outline all of them on the entire spread and then go back in with watercolors and actually use those to give it a nice soft look. Now, obviously, these take a good bit of time, so I wouldn't really recommend this spread if you're looking for something super quick, but it worked for me because I wanted to make you guys a new video, and I realized I've never done this sort of theme before, so I really wanted to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did because I just adore how it turns out. Like I was saying, if you guys are super busy and you love the idea of bullet journaling, which I totally understand, but you maybe don't have the time for it or don't have the skill set to make it, as artsy as you want, I am currently selling custom bullet journals on my Etsy for a really fair price. My goal is to make bullet journaling as accessible as possible for as many women as possible. So if that kind of fits your bill, and you would love to bullet journal, you don't have time for it, you're too busy, with the house, with the kids, with the job, with, being a girl boss, whatever it is, I would love to get in touch with you. So I will link that custom bullet journal in the description, and I definitely recommend you check it out if you're looking for the same feel that you get with a bullet journal, but with none of the stress that it takes to make one. I love making them. I've had so much fun for the wonderful ladies that I've had the privilege of making them for so far, and I would love for you to be next. So I invite you to check out that link and shoot me any messages on Etsy. If you have any questions or ideas about specific spreads you might need, that sort of thing. Every single monthly and weekly spread is made with the same love and care that I give my own bullet journal, because I know what a big deal it is for you to let me into your personal space like that. So yeah, like I said, I'll have that linked in the description, and I would love it if you checked it out. So with these just about done, I'm gonna go in with my Tombow Fudenosuke pen. I believe this is a hard tip pen, and just fill in a little bit of hand lettering for the month of May. I love these pens. They're great for beginners and for folks who've been doing it for a while. Really great quality pens. I'll link them in the description for you. Not affiliated, I wish I was, but I just really love these pens. So now I'm just gonna finish up. I decided to add one more branch of wisteria over here where I'm gonna have my monthly calendar. And just because I felt it was a little imbalanced if I just had the calendar on the other side with all those beautiful flowering trees on the other. So I'm just trying to balance it out a little, add a little bit of a extra something. Once that's done, I'm gonna add just a little bit of detailing on all of the flowers. Looking at pictures of them, they kind of have this nice soft curve in the middle of them, and I tried to kind of bring that out a little bit more in the drawings before we go over and paint them, just to give them a little bit more depth and a little bit more realism. So that's all I'm doing right now, just kind of breezing through that. Now I'm gonna go in and fill out my monthly calendar for May. I'm using that Tombow dual brush pen. I'm using the thinner side of it. It's great. I love that there's two sides because you can really easily write really thin with the more like a fine liner side rather than the brush pen. So I'm just going through. I like to have the days of the week as well as the date of the week along the side of my calendar. I just think it's a lot easier when I'm scheduling things out to know what day it's gonna be. So that's why you'll see kind of the dual columns right there. That's all that is. Now with that same dual brush pen, I'm going to be filling out a little bit of lettering for my mood tracker and also for my daily gratitude log. So you'll notice this month I kind of change up my gratitude log just a little bit. I found myself just kind of getting bored with the old setup, and that's my favorite part about a bullet journal is that whenever you get bored with something, you can easily change it and do something different. So this time around, I'm definitely keeping my gratitude log. I love having it. I'm not that tired of it. but I figured I would just, instead of having just a blank page, I wanted to kind of section it out. That way, maybe some days I just write a couple lines, maybe some days I just write one overarching word for what I'm grateful for, you know, like hand lettering and that sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you guys posted. I think I'm going to start doing walkthroughs after my weekly spreads are all filled out. So like I'll do one for April once April's over, and just kind of show you guys what my bullet journals look like after the pen, after, you know, life happens all over them. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. But for now, my gratitude log is staying just about the same. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of a grid, and I'm using one of those beautiful bright Tombow colors for that to keep things nice and light and happy for the month. Also, you guys, I just realized, I'm so sorry, my camera must have cut out when I drew the wisteria for my mood log for the month. So that's super weird, and I apologize, but I mean, you get the gist. You saw all of the other wisteria being drawn. The only difference is that for this one, I tried to keep it right around 31 different little flowers, and I'm planning on coloring one of them in each day with one of my Tombows, corresponding to all of my moods, which you'll see. I make a little key for them in just a little bit. But I just wanted to say, yeah, sorry I forgot to record that little bit. I don't know what happened there. So here's that little key I was talking about. I'm just going to be using my Sharpie fine liner once again. I love it, love it, love it. And if you watch, I absolutely butcher this key. And I wanted to take a minute and say, if you ever mess up when you're bullet journaling, do not even worry about it, because we all do. Every single person messes up. And I think that's probably a good metaphor for life, but we're going to keep it a little simple around here. And with bullet journaling, you kind of just have to do the best that you can with what you mess up. So I ended up making all of my boxes an extra 2 squares bigger, just to keep things looking uniform and not having everything slanted, because I totally messed up my lines. But it worked out fine. It always does. And that's the beauty of a bullet journal. When you mess up, you just keep on trucking with it, because it's really not that big of a deal. Don't take yourself too seriously with it. Remember to enjoy it and have fun with it, and remember what it's really there for. At the end of the day, your bullet journal is to help you be a more productive person, a happier person, a more grateful person, and as long as you're ticking off all those boxes, it's really okay when stuff gets messed up. Try not to worry about it too much, babe. So now I'm going to be adding in which moods I'm going to be tracking this month. I'm going with happy, productive, relaxed, sick, angry, and anxious, because those were some of my top moods from this past month. It was April's been a little bit crazy, and I'm just referring back to my April mood log and seeing which ones I want to be using, what I've been feeling lately, that sort of thing. I find that, you know, if a month or two goes by and I'm not really using a mood, I'll either replace it or drop it off. I used to have like 10 different moods that I tracked, and now I've definitely cut back on it to just, you know, the top ones that I'm feeling, to keep things simple. I'm going to be going in and adding a little bit of highlighting with one of my Tombows, and also with one of my Sakura of America gel. It's a white gel pen, I think. It's just really awesome. I love those pens. They make such great little highlighters. Then I'm going to go in and kind of just give a little bit of rough color to those keys. I really like the look of that. I think it's nice and just artsy, and you know, no one likes coloring in the lines, so I like to scribble a little bit. I think it looks good. So now we get to the fun part. What I did since the last video started is just mix up a couple colors, mostly purples, greens, and a little bit of yellow. For some reason, I had the hardest time making a purple that I liked. I had started painting the wisteria with my first purple, and I really did not like it. So started over, took a little bit of break, and now I'm just going through and adding that light purple as a base layer to the whole thing. And I know a lot of people get stressed about using watercolors in their bullet journal, but I just want to say, if you have a Leuchtturm, as long as your paintbrush isn't totally soaked, you'll be 100% fine. I love using watercolors. And at the end of the day, if your paper wrinkles a little bit, just close up your journal, put a bunch of books on it overnight, and then by the morning your paper is totally smooth. I mean, hardly any bumps at all. And for me, it's definitely worth it. It just adds such a level of depth that you don't really get with, you know, markers or even colored pencils sometimes. So I've definitely been using watercolors quite a bit this year and really enjoying it. So what I'm gonna do now is use some of that dark purple that I mixed up and kind of outline, highlight, I guess it might be, the wisteria flowers. They have a darker purple around the outside actually, and then they get lighter towards the middle. And all of the buds are a pretty dark purple, so I tried to encapsulate that as best as I could. And then about halfway through, I realized that I was just having fun adding that dark purple in there, so I went a little crazy with it, and I'm not sorry, it turned out really good. Then I'm just gonna add in some of that really nice dark yellow to accent the middle of the flower and just really bring it all together. I think it turned out so beautiful on such another level with the yellow in it. So I just really love how that looks. It looks great. And now that you guys know kind of the gist of it, we're gonna speed things up a little bit and keep on painting. Alright, lastly I'm gonna go in and add some of that nice dark yellow Tombow to all of my weekend slots. And again, I just wanted to do that because I thought that page was looking a little bit bare. And I know it won't once I get, you know, all of my dates and appointments filled in, but for now, I just wanted a little bit of extra to kind of balance out all the purple. So I'm highlighting my May header and just adding a little bit of highlights over there. And then earlier I forgot to add the little highlights to all of the flowers, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Even though I'm not watercoloring them, I still want them to look really nice and neat once the month is over. So that's all I'm doing now. And I'm gonna number my daily gratitude log. Then I'm just gonna watercolor in some of those leaves and also the branch with all those beautiful colors that I already had mixed up. I didn't want them to go to waste. And then once that's done, she's ready to go. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I love all of the support I've been getting since I started this channel. I appreciate it endlessly. I really hope you take a minute to pop into my Etsy, link down in the description. Take a look at all of the great things I've got going on there. Again, thank you so much for watching. Leave me any comments with any questions you might have, and I'd love to chat with you. Talk to you soon, babe.